What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Not Lucky, I'm Blessed podcast, the show where we celebrate young entrepreneurs and their achievements. And then we teach up and common entrepreneurs how to make profit using their passion. And as usual, I'm your host, Lucky the Most. Enjoy the show. I have a special guest in the building, a very great friend of mine. I've known this guy for a while on Instagram, and finally, I feel like it's an honor and a pleasure to sit with him today. He's a wellness and fitness coach. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the one and only Jwann Johnson.
Yeah, let's go.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I feel blessed that we have this space that you created this space for us to share our passions and things like that motivate us and keep us moving forward and how we help other people as well.
I like that, man. I like that. I like that. So there's this question I always love to ask. Do you think you're lucky or you're blessed in life?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Which of them? Lucky or blessed?
I'm gonna say blessed. I like to go with blessed.
Okay. Why do you say that?
I just feel like I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things, and it could be a lot worse. It's a lot of people dealing with a lot of things out there, and I'm just blessed to be able to be positive and be motivated and be able to help other people feel the same.
Yes, sir. I like that. I like that. So our guest today is Prosper with Jwann, right?
Yup, that's it.
How did you come up with that name?
The funny thing is, my whole life I always use the word prosper. Like I just love the definition of it. The word prosper is motivating, inspiring. And I was sitting in my room one day and I was like, what can I come up with as a name, logo? And I was like, Prosper with Jwann is what it's going to be. I was just going to put Prosper with Jwann together and I'm going to let it run with it. And I actually had a few people try to tell me to change the name, Prosper fit this or fit. I'm like, no, this the name. This is where we're going and we're running with it.
It doesn't have to be fit. Not everyone has to say fit in that title to show that you're into fitness. Right? I think Prosper, it's just a positive. There's a positive, vibe that comes out of that name, Prosper with Jwann. So meaning if I rock with this guy, I'm gonna prosper, man.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that. And how long have you been a fitness coach?
Oh, I'm actually on a year and a half now. Gotcha. Going on 2 years. Yep.
Gotcha. And how did you start this journey, to where you are today? Tell us about Prosper. If you can even go back to, maybe from childhood or something. Everything.
Well, I feel like I've always been a positive person. It's like one of the best things about me, and usually what I tell people. And I've always been into fitness. It's just been a place where I could go and just think about the things that make me feel good, or even if I have problems, a way to go and just channel it and just calm myself down. So that's kind of where the fitness came into play. But if I had to just go back on how all of this got started, I spent my whole life wanting to be a police officer.
I saw that,
Yeah, and I was an officer for about 3 years in Memphis, Tennessee. And man, that place is a special place.
Gotcha.
A lot of crime. Some good things about it, but I saw a lot of crime and a lot of bad stuff. And it really changed my outlook on life in general. I was just like, man, it's some things out there. And that's kind of why I say
nasty things.
Yeah, that's kind of why I say I feel blessed, because when you see those things, it just makes everything, feel special. Like just waking up, being able to move, walk, see, eat, just the simple things like that. So it got to a point where I was like, I'm kind of changing who I am. I really can't prosper or be happy doing this. Because the passion just isn't there anymore. So it was tough. It was a tough decision. I was like, what else? I was like, what else can I do to be able to give back to people in a positive way? I know that's the best skill I have. And I was literally sitting in my room and I was like, you know what? I'm always working out. I love meal prepping. I think I could be a trainer. You know what I mean? I was like, I think I could be a trainer. I'm going to go online. I'm going to get the certification. And that's the first thing I'm going to do to get started.
Yes.
I got the certification. And I actually found there's a group called Show Up Fitness. And I did an internship through them. And that's kind of how I got started. I was like, I'm going to get a logo. I'm going to slap it all together and just start moving forward. So basically, I started just sharing my journey of me losing 20 pounds while using my Herbalife products.
Yeah.
I'm an Herbalife coach as well.
Shout out
And I started sharing my journey through Instagram. Literally, that's how it all got started. I was like, I'm going to share it. Hopefully, people like it.
yeah.
Hopefully, people join on. And as time went on, it finally hit me. I was like, wow, people actually rocking with me. People rocking with the prosper. You know what I mean?
People trying to prosper.
Yeah. So like that's how it got started. Like I really didn't even think that it was gonna turn into this, but I'm happy it did.
Gotcha. No, there's one thing I love about social media is that people fuck with your honesty. You get
Right.
Like, I mean, there's so many fake shit out there, influencers and all that, trying to live that fake life and all that. But like, there's some like if you're real, you get it right, and you're like, this is where I'm at right now.
Right.
People, because there are people that are where you are also, and they want to relate. They're looking for someone they can relate with, like your struggle, how you
Yep.
starting, like oh, this guy, look at this guy, he was here, and now people want to like. I think people appreciate the journey,
Right.
so and that's what a lot of people miss. They want to show the end result on Instagram. They don't want to show how much they suffered.
Exactly.
The struggle they went through. They just want to bring out the final result and they say, boom, this is me.
Right.
People want to see how did you get there, so we can follow that step.
Exactly.
I bet you people will go on your Instagram and like live daily life from just your daily steps.
Right.
People can just last week he was here, this week he's here. So meaning if I do what he did, I might get to where he
Right.
is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I like that, man. I like that. So let's see. So you were in the police force for 3 years, were passionate about it, and then you stopped it. How was it like making that decision that, what? Because you went to school to study.
Yeah, I went to University of Alabama for criminal justice.
Yeah,
so that was the full direction.
Full direction.
I thought I was gonna retire being a police officer.
Oh my god.
So
like, how was that decision for you?
It was tough, when I come up with that decision, I feel like we naturally always, want to call somebody and like get an approval just to move forward. And I did that, but I was like, man, I feel like I'm not getting any support. And it literally came to a point where I was like, you know what? I just know that I need to do this, and I'm gonna do this. And if I'm gonna do this, the people that actually want to be a part of it are gonna be there no matter what. And I think that was kind of the breakthrough, just telling myself in my mind that like people gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep it real and you're honest about it, like people gonna rock with it. So that's kind of it.
It's really nice, man. That you're like you're kind of like people driven in the sense that you you care about what you want to give back to the people.
Right. Yeah.
Like I bet you joined the police force because you wanted to protect lives.
Right.
You get it, right? And when you saw that wasn't working and you were losing yourself, because one thing we always have to know is no matter how much we try to do for people, if we're doing something and we're losing ourselves in that process, it's not healthy for us.
Yeah. Right.
Like it's always you first. And then after you can give to someone else. But if you don't have what to give to yourself, you don't have anything to give to someone else.
Exactly.
So you discovered that I was losing myself in this situation, even though I'm trying to help people. I have to look for some other thing that I find myself in that.
Exactly.
And then give back to it. And then fitness was that thing that you came across and that you were like, yes, this is something that if I do it 24 hours a day, I'm still myself. You get
exactly.
Right? And I can also change life through that. Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's been cool, man. It's been good.
I like that. And any regrets so far?
Oh no regrets at all. No regrets at all. I say all the time, like every day I wake up now, I'm like, there's no reason to be angry anymore or feel down or bad because I'm like, I'm still getting healthy and I'm helping people get healthy at the same time.
That's like double.
I even tell my clients, I say, you guys help me more than you probably think that I help you. I said, if I'm telling y'all got to work out and be consistent and be on time, I need to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that.
And I think that's part of just becoming a leader too. Like being a leader, you have to have certain discipline and you have to be able to like push people to their limits and kind of steer them in the right direction.
Gotcha. So, what is your advice for someone who was stuck in a situation that had, that all their life they wanted to be this person, and now they're in that position, but they don't see themselves going anywhere. They just feel like, nah, I'm losing myself in this situation, but they're also scared of taking the next step to going into a new direction because life. You have, how would I pay my bills? What if I don't succeed in
Right.
that field? What's your advice for someone like that?
Yeah. I would say that you have to get uncomfortable. Like you have to know and program your mind to be like the only way to get to that next step is going through the uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
It's like, yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's not gonna last forever. So I think that just getting uncomfortable and actually like setting action steps. You have to actually do what your mind is saying. You have to actually put those things down and actually start moving forward too. You can't just say it and think it. So just kind of getting uncomfortable, I would say.
Yeah.
Nothing happens in the comfort zone.
Nothing happens.
It's definitely what I've learned.
Yeah. And even the place you call comfortable, you're not really comfortable.
Right.
Let's
Exactly.
be honest. You get it, right? Like you talked about, like you were losing yourself. Meaning there was nothing comfortable about that place. But yeah. It's crazy because that's the world we live in now. People see, relationship or anything. You're scared of, taking that next step. But even where you are right now, you're not comfortable.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, how they talk about there are two types of discipline: the discipline of regret and discipline of pain.
Right.
And that's the discipline where if you stay there, the regret is for a lifetime. You just say like, shit, I could have left this job and I never did, and this is where I am. And then there's that pain that you go through in that transition phase that doesn't even last forever. You get it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've always been on that side where I always pick that pain of discipline,
right,
than the pain of regret. Doing what I need to do to get to where I have to be.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna take you there. Nobody's gonna take you there. You gotta have the vision, and just trust yourself. Like, all right, like it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Like it has to. There is no turning back. I already know what turning back feels like. I already know what this feels like right now. So why not? Why not try it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. You know what? Something you said that changed my life was when I was in a place where my fitness journey was on and off. And like everyone else, 1 month I was training, and then the next week I was off, and then like that, and then coming back all over again. And I told myself, bro, I was like, I know what it feels like to give up. Okay,
exactly.
I'm gonna start all over again. I know what this place feels like, but I want to know what's gonna happen if I don't give up, if I don't quit.
Right.
You get it, right? What's gonna happen? So that's the only thing I've been looking for in life. Like, what's gonna happen if I don't give up? And that's what has brought me here. Yeah. And so when you say, like, just knowing that, knowing where you are and how fucked up it is, and just staying there is really bad.
Yeah, that just I'm just thinking about it because even till this day, say sometimes you're having a bad day. I always tell myself, I'm like, the only way you lose is if you quit. That's the only way. You know what I mean? Like right now, there's no way to lose unless you quit. You know?
Wow, I like that. As long as you're still going, you haven't lost, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is when you just stop moving and just say, you know what, I'm done. That's when you lose. Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. And then I like how this conversation just moved to my next question. Okay, what have you failed at recently? Tell me one thing you feel. So I got this from one of your posts, and you said, one of your posts that you talked about failure, and you said, this was the question you asked, what have you failed on recently?
Yeah.
I like this question, man. I think this should be a question that I want to, recently, what have you failed at?
Okay. What have I failed at recently? I want to make sure it's a good one.
It doesn't matter.
I guess I would say just having like self-doubt. Like there's times where you're like, man, like what's next for my business? You know what I mean? Like what's next? Like, do I want to have my own gym, or like, so I think I've kind of failed at getting stuck in those thoughts.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten stuck where I'm like, I'm not actually saying, okay, no, actually, what steps do I need to take to get to that next level?
The next level.
You know what I mean? Just sitting there. So I guess probably saying like being stuck in my own brain. That's probably my most recent failures. So
yeah, and that's one of that's a tough one too. Just being stuck in your own brain and not moving. So how do you get out of a situation like that?
Workout for one.
Workout is always a solution.
You just go to the gym. But no, honestly, you know what I've done a lot recently is like I have to write things down on paper now. Like I have to actually see it. Like I'm thinking it. Okay, cool. Now let me put it on paper. And you know, and I probably try to stick that paper in front of my face every morning. Like, okay, today I said I'm gonna do 5 workouts this week. I gotta get 5 workouts.
Gotcha.
That's what I put down there. That's what I want to do. That's the goal. We're achieving that goal. So I think it's definitely important for us to, even when we're thinking something, to kind of write it down and put it on paper. You know, once you see it, it's there. You know.
Tell me, what's a morning routine for you? Like you know, when you wake up. Tell me, like you know, what's it? The steps you take you know, out of your bed until the end of the day. As a healthy individual, so you guys can learn from him, man.
It's actually funny. That question is funny, and I love that question because when I started my Herbalife business, every Monday there's a Monday meeting. Every Monday, if you're part of Herbalife, there's a Monday meeting. It's very motivational, and they teach, you know, they teach personal development.
Yeah.
And ever since I joined Herbalife, personal development has been so big in my life. Every morning, as soon as I start my day, I listen to at least 10 minutes of personal development.
Yeah.
And just getting that positive stuff in your mind, and just like,
what do you listen to?
My favorite guy is Jwann Johnson.
I love Inky.
Inky Johnson is my favorite guy.
One of my favorites.
Yep.
I love Inky.
His podcast, Serendipity. I don't know if you've heard that one.
I haven't.
He actually talks about the process. The process.
Yeah.
His whole podcast is bringing people on, talking about the process.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, his personal development videos, oh my God, they're so good. So that's usually how I start my day.
Yep.
I start my day with Jwann Johnson.
Jwann Johnson, that's cool. I take note, guys. Jwann Johnson, number one, Inky.
I start my day with Jwann Johnson. You know, it's like I used to listen to music when I started my day, but now I feel like I've gained so much growth just from listening to that personal development.
Yeah. So 10 minutes of personal development, and then what's next?
10 minutes of personal development. And you got to start your day off with some protein. And I'm laughing because people watching this are going to probably be like, oh my God. There you go again talking about the protein.
Facts. You can.
Protein shake, waffle, yogurt. I don't care what it is. Get your protein in the morning. Start your day off with some protein. I tell some of my clients, to drink the shakes. They're like, when do I drink the shakes? And I'm like brushing your teeth. Yeah. As soon as you brush your teeth, go drink your shake right after.
We laugh at these things, but these are very, very key things.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of you don't see your results because you don't eat your protein intake.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Literally, if you can, if there's nothing you take out of this podcast and you just take one thing, take my protein intake.
You got to.
You have to. And if you're listening to this podcast, you work out. I know my listeners, you get right? So this is something that y'all should really, really fuck with. Take your protein, you get right? So, first thing in the morning, yep, what else, man, bro?
So, protein, if the schedule permits, I love working out in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like just starting the day off with the workout puts me in a good mood. Mm-hmm. I feel accomplished.
Yep.
So I try to do my workouts early in the morning. And if people are watching this, they're probably like, yup, 6 a.m. He's up working out, making me feel bad. So yeah, usually that's how my morning starts, man. I usually try to get a nice good meal in. I try to listen to my personal development, and I might write down like a couple goals for the day, whether it's maybe check in with all my clients or update somebody's program, and just kind of try to set a little goals to feel like I move forward throughout that day.
Yeah. I like that. What's your favorite day of the week?
My favorite what?
Your favorite day of the week.
Idea?
No, day of the week.
Oh, my favorite day of the week? I'll probably say either Wednesday or Friday.
Wednesday.
I mean, I feel like everybody would pick Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pick one. I'll say Friday because when Friday comes, I look back on the week and I'm like, yo, I crushed it. I'm like, I crushed it. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Because I feel like we get caught up sometimes. We don't really think about how much we have achieved throughout the week. Like we're just always on go. But it's really important for you to take a step back and be like, wow, I am doing things. Like I am accomplishing goals. I am moving forward.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say it's like you got to get 1% better every day.
1% better every day. Yeah.
I don't know where that 1% came from. It sounds crazy. You're like, really, just 1%?
1%. That's all.
I should be getting more than that. But that 1% is cool. If you think like that, it's like I'll take that 1%.
Yeah, I mean, even as a trainer, that's the message you preach. Get better. Like 1 rep.
Yep.
Just 1 rep. If you can do 1 rep that you did last week, last week you did 10. This week try to do 11. Just 1 rep. Add 1 rep to everything, and by the end of the year, you've added like maybe more than 100 reps to whatever you're doing. So it's that one rule. 1%, 1 rep, one more minute. Your cardio, whatever you're doing, just could take you a long way. So yeah, that's
Friday is it. I know everybody doesn't work Monday to Friday, but usually everybody's in a good mood on Friday. I like Friday too.
I like that. For me,
yeah,
Mondays are my favorite days.
Okay, Monday.
I love Mondays because I just love that, number one, that new week. That all my old, like whatever happened last week is gone. You get right. I just have a new slate to just start all over again. You get right.
It's funny you say that, but I used to hate Mondays, but I actually enjoy Monday now because I know I'm back to it. And I tell a lot of my clients and people that ask me. I'm like, when Monday comes...
If you hate Mondays, you're doing the wrong job.
Yeah. I'm like, when Monday comes, like, my nutrition is 9 times out of 10 back on point. And my discipline and consistency of just being able to, like, stay with that program is kind of where it keeps me to where I am now,
Yeah, like, I think if someone hates Monday, if you're like that type that, that you got that Sunday scary, like, Sunday, I go to bed, like on Sundays, I go to bed at like 8 p.m. because I want to be Monday, like I am ready for
Monday. That's not healthy. That's definitely not healthy.
Yeah, I am ready for Monday. So, but I like your own idea of how much you love Friday. So I think I'm going to steal your ideas now. I still love Mondays and I would love Friday because Friday I get to now sit back and look at how much I've accomplished.
Exactly.
I like that mix, like, just saying, wow, I started the week on Monday strong and Friday.
But it's what's funny? It's almost like Monday and Friday kind of go together. You know what I mean? Because you go hard on Monday, and then when Friday comes, you still kind of go hard too. Because it's like I made it. You know what I mean?
I gotta finish strong. You get it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I started strong and I have to finish strong. So yeah, shout out to you. Okay, so I like that. Now my next question is I came across something on your bio on Insta. You said you teach busy people how to become fit.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like, why busy people? What does that mean?
I think that's such a great question to ask. And as a coach, one of the most important things that I say that I've learned is like when someone comes to you and they're asking for fitness help or nutrition help, you have to realize that their life, their structure, their day is not the same as yours. And the key to helping busy people become fit is being able to meet them at their level and create structure for them with their day. You know what I mean? It's like, someone who works 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they have 2 kids, they're going to need a different, structure than someone who works from home and, they get a couple breaks throughout the day and they can go to the gym for an hour. So that's the best tool that I've learned is that everybody is different and everybody needs their own program. And I think that's the key to success is meeting the people there and kind of going along with their journey while you're coaching them.
I like that. That's so your niche kind of like is busy people.
Yep.
How to introduce fitness into their lives. Right. And how do you do that?
Well, like I say, we obviously know this is what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're good trainers. I'm like, how do you do that?
But what I've learned is like, for some people, like there's a lot of, I forget the word. There's a lot of stuff we see online that makes training scary. You know what I mean? Like they don't feel comfortable being in the space. People might be looking at me, or I don't know if I'm doing the exercise the right way. So we have to understand too that like we were once there too. You know what I mean? Like everyone who comes to you, they've seen this. They don't know what's the correct way or the right way to do these things. So that's why we're there for that support.
I like that. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go back to the fitness journey. So you got certified. After that, what was the next move you make? So let's go through the process. So you got your certification. Fucking great. Let's go. What was the next thing you did, and what was the next after that? Tell us what the journey was like.
Well, it was interesting because I got the national certification, and I'm so terrible at taking tests. When I passed that test, I was so happy. Man, I was so happy.
I feel mine.
I feel before we even get into it, when I pressed the last button and finished the test, I ran out of the room and I came back in and I saw him but for anybody out there, when I took the test, though, I really didn't feel like I learned everything. So my next step, I was like, how do I learn more? Like, I know how to train myself, and I think I know what I'm doing, but I want to make sure I learn how to do it correctly. That way I really feel confident in delivering that to someone else. So my next step was, okay, I need to find something, which I found an internship that's actually going to physically teach me how to be a trainer. You know what I mean? Because just getting that certification doesn't really teach you how to be a trainer.
It doesn't teach you how to be a trainer, yeah.
So just finding a support group that's actually teaching people, and there's a lot of them out there that's actually showing you, how to be a trainer. So that was the next step, and then after that,
how long were you in that internship for?
Oh, I did that internship for I want to say 3 months, and I'm still connected with I'm still connected with so many trainers that are basically on the same journey. So having that support group and that community is definitely important too. I think that's definitely important for anybody that's out there wanting to be a trainer. You don't have to be alone throughout the process.
Bro, that's why we have this podcast.
Yep.
That's why you're sitting next to me right now sharing your story. That if you're listening to this podcast and you want to be a trainer, like you're having every single step of his way. Like how he got certified, but he knew that was not enough.
Right.
Like, how do I deal with these people? And then he went on to join an internship for 3 months that taught him how to one-on-one deal with people, form and all that. Because what you learn from the book, you don't learn from. You don't learn the right form.
Right.
They write it, but it's different from when you physically do it.
Training someone in person opposed to learning from a book is definitely different. You gotta actually be with those people because training is a people job. You know what I mean? Like, we're working with people.
Yeah.
We're not just working with the book. You know what I mean? There's actually real life people.
Real life situation. Yep.
But so yeah, and then after that, I was like, okay, well, where am I going to train? Like, but it's funny. When I first started, I actually trained one person at the park before I even went and got a job at the gym. I was training somebody at the park. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, we're gonna do it wherever I can do it.
Wherever you can do it.
You know what I mean? Like, don't wait to start. Why wait to start when you don't really need anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who was your first client?
My first client was it my first client? My first client, yes, was one of my friends, Faith. Yep.
How did you get her to be a client?
I think she reached out to me, if I'm not mistaken. She reached out to me and said, "Hey, like, I'm trying to get back in shape." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, let's do it. When, where?" Wow. But you know what? As I started sharing my journey, more people started reaching out. Yep. As I started sharing my journey, more people started reaching out.
I like that.
Which helped give me the confidence to keep going.
Okay, so yep. So you took that class for 3 months, and then what was next?
So my first job was at Boston Sports Club. I think you worked there.
Shout out to Boston.
Shout out to Boston Sports Club.
You guys make this all.
So I started at Boston Sports Club, and it's actually so funny. I started at Boston Sports Club, and there was like 4 or 5 of us, and my name was at the bottom of the list. And when I came in, I said, my name is getting to the top of that list. I don't care what happens. And a month later, I became the top trainer there. Shout out to me.
Shout out to you. What location was that?
That was in Austin. Yeah. Great experience. Like I said, when I went in there, I wanted to learn as much as I can. Just about like how does the gym work. I want to train people. I want to train as many people as I
That's it.
can.
Yep.
And I literally went in there like a sponge. I learned so much. But then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I was like, I kind of was already doing this before I came here. So why don't I just try to do it on my
On
own?
your own, yeah.
And there was really another scary moment. I was like, I'm about to quit. I don't know where I'm going to train or how I'm going to get people, but I know this is direction that I need to go. Like, I need to just keep moving forward. And it was funny. I'm laying in my bed and I'm surfing Craigslist, and I found a guy asking, hey, I need a trainer to come fill some space in my studio. And that's how I found the next place. So I'm a train at Brookline, so at a private studio. Come train with me.
What's it called?
It's called Titanium Fitness.
Titanium.
Yup.
Guys,
68 Harbor Street, Brookline, private studio with me, prosper with Jwann.
Your muscles are gonna prosper. Everything is gonna prosper, man. I like that.
Yeah. So, but in between that time, it was a really another scary moment. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get people.
Yeah.
But when I got started, I said the first day I got there, I posted a video, said, "Hey, I'm back training here." And people came. People hit me up and said, "Hey, I want to train with you." And I'm like, at that moment, I was like, "All right, cool. I made it. Like, I made it. This is actually working now. You know what I mean?" Yeah.
Okay, so you went to the Brooklyn spot. But what made you leave BSC? Right? You know, why did you? You know, what was that thing like?
I think sometimes you get to a point where you're like, obviously money isn't everything, but you're like, all right, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
And I'm delivering this, but they're getting this, and why are they getting that when I'm delivering everything?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want everything that I'm working for. You know what I mean? Like,
that's not a crime, man.
Yeah. I was like, I want everything that I'm working for. Like, I'm motivating these people.
I'm the one doing everything.
Yeah, I'm using my phone to message and make sure they're coming to their sessions. They feel good about it. I'm making the workout programs. I want everything.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You know, like we worked in the same company, you get it, right? And I know what he's talking about. Like, I was definitely there because you don't put in all the work in.
Right.
Did you make those calls, text us, for the airphones and all that?
Right.
I know. It was a fun process, like all that was needed. But sometimes you just get to a point where you're like, you know what, man, like I think I should be. If I can do it here, I can do it anywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I always say too, the gym doesn't make the trainer makes the gym. I hate to say it, but
I gotta write this down.
The trainer makes the gym. The gym don't make the people come to train with you, not the gym. You know what I mean? If you leave your people, it just is what it is. Because you're delivering that service to them,
Yeah, so I like that. Okay, so let's go into the world of your, entrepreneurship. How was it like? Now you're like, okay, now I'm calling my own shots.
Yeah,
I'm my own boss. How was that moment like for you?
I think it's something that I kind of still struggle with today because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't punch in and punch out. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, you're 24/7, like, you're always working. Like, you take days off, but you're always working. You're always trying to figure out the next idea, or how can I grow, or I want to learn more, like, what do I do? So I think that's one of the things that, like, I still kind of struggle with, because sometimes you want to turn it off. Sometimes you're I want to take a break, but you got to have that power to just keep moving forward. Like, you are your own motivator. You are your own boss. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't going to run unless you're working.
I'm telling you, I love this because this just reminds me of a quote that I came across today. In fact, this week, that has been on my mind the whole week. It says, so at its best, working for yourself frees you from the lunatic you used to work for.
Right.
But at its worst, it enslaves you to the lunatic you've become.
Yeah. Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Bro, I never thought about it like that. And I was like, damn, this is some dipshit. Okay, because truth be told, I'm in that same situation where you are, just starting being my own boss, and it's not easy because every day you're always waking up and thinking about, okay, how do I get the next client? How do I, get that? So much worry is going there. You get it? But now there's a good side of it. You don't work for someone, okay? Boom. But now you there's another side of it that just makes you just start just become a lunatic and stuff, which is funny. It's funny, but that is the truth. So like, and like I just wanted to know, like, do you go through those days?
Oh my
And do you agree
gosh,
with that?
all the time. Oh my gosh, all the time. I'm like, oh man, like I need to make sure this person is they still good. Are they good? Like, did I check in? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's I like the way you said it. I'm gonna have to remember that one too.
No, like
It
for
makes you a lunatic
it makes
yourself.
you a lunatic. Like you start just worrying about. I mean, not like negative worries that make you not sleep at night. You sleep
Yeah.
well at night. You get it, right, but you still like, okay, how do I, okay, these numbers don't match. Like, how do I? But when you were working for someone took care of all that.
Right.
But you felt like, oh my god, I'm working for someone.
But the most rewarding feeling though,
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur, is when someone says, "Oh, you helped me," and you're like, "Ah," like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
no one did it for
They
you.
don't know
You
what
did
they-
it.
you
You
did
did
it.
that.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
did
And
it.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the best feelings that I get is, when people, they might message me and say, "Hey, man, I'm down 20 pounds," or "Hey, I feel amazing." Like, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm glad that I was able to help that person out. You know what I mean? I didn't have to look for someone else to get that satisfaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So while you were a personal trainer, let's talk about skills here. How did you build those skills that made you the number one trainer in your
Yeah.
DSC? Like, what are some of the things you did? Because someone else might be listening and say, I want
Right.
to be number one, but they don't know the work you put in. You
Right.
understand, right? Like, what are those grind, the skills you had to
Hmm.
learn and all that to get to where you are today?
I want to say, your energy and your communication is definitely going to be very important. Those people are coming to spend an hour with you. And that hour needs to be something that's motivating them, something that they look forward to doing. You're spending that time with them, so they don't want to. No one wants to be bored or sad. So being able to communicate and like bring that energy to help them, get through their sessions is definitely key. I would say so. Just try to have good personality and be able to communicate with your clients.
I like that.
I think I would probably say most of my clients know when they come train with me, it's gonna be loud and it's gonna be fun, and I'm definitely gonna be pumping you up the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's all they need.
Yeah.
They need that different environment. Maybe
Right.
back, before they come to you, wherever they're coming from might not be loud and have that energy.
Right.
So they need some of your energy
Right.
to just waken them up, and
Mhm.
because that's what most of my clients enjoy, the fact that what happens there is different from what happens outside.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So
When you're training this, yes, that's your safe spot. For this hour, this our safe zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We here. We just working on ourselves while we're here. That's it.
I like that. I like that. So are you a naturally born entrepreneur, or you're the type that you made yourself who you are? Like.
I want to say I think I made myself one. Like, I always knew what an entrepreneur was, but I never thought of myself being one. But eventually, I started realizing, like, hey, I think I have a certain set of skills. Like, I've developed some skills that I think I could use to help people. So I think identifying and like knowing that I had skills that I knew I could help people, why not do it? The people that we're watching are doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
100%.
I have those same skills that they have, basically. I can do the same thing that they're doing. Why not?
Then how did what are some of the skills, like that are needed for entrepreneurs to have?
You definitely, you have to have discipline.
Mm.
I think you definitely, need to be like a goal setter. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to, set boundaries too at the same time. Like, hey, I know if I do this today, it's going to get me to there. But I know if I do that, it might set me back a little bit. So you definitely have to have boundaries set for yourself and be able to set goals and take the action steps to be able to achieve those goals. And you use your resources too at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of resources out there. There's tons of people that, want to help you, whether you have to pay a little bit for it or not, but use those resources. I don't think anybody has ever gotten to the top alone, and I say that to myself all the time. Like, no one makes it to the top alone. Like, you need that support group and that help to keep you climbing up, you know.
Yeah. So what are some of this support group that you have besides you that has helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got a great friend support group, trainer support group, my Herbalife support group. I love the Herbalife support
I
group.
feel you.
It's just everybody. If you in my circle, you're definitely a positive person. I try to keep everybody that's in my circle positive, happy, inspiring people that help me stay motivated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people struggle with that too. Like this, they have these toxic people in their life, and they don't realize like, hey, those people are trying to dragging you down too at the same time. You know. So the support group is definitely big.
I like that. Cause you even when you came in, like the first time I met you outside the door, I could tell that your energy was on a whole another level.
Right.
You get right. How did you get to this place you are today?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that naturally came to you, or you had to work on yourself, your mindset to get to the level that you are today?
Yeah, you know what? I feel like I've always been a naturally like positive person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I've always been a naturally positive person. And the funny thing is too, like if you think about full circle, like the prosper is for everybody. Like I say that all the time. Like even though it's prosper with Jwann, like there would be no prosper with Jwann without everybody. You know what I mean?
I like that. So there's a lot that goes into this name. Prosper.
Yeah.
It's not just a one way street.
Yeah.
It's like back and forth.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, so personal training. Let's see. Is this a calling for you? Is this a calling, a job, or your career?
You know what? I would probably say calling. I would probably say calling because I don't even think of it as work, man. Like when I'm training people, it never feels like work. You know, we just training. We just getting better, you know. So I feel like that's why it's the calling, you know. Like if you have a calling for something, it's not gonna feel like work. And that's the whole goal of kind of being an entrepreneur sometimes, you know, like you don't want to what you're doing and you're passionate about, you don't want it to feel like work. It should be natural, you know.
Natural, yeah. I respect that. Now that's so true, 100%. And then when we talk about the skills, that that needed to be built to become, an entrepreneur. You talked about discipline and discipline. How did you build that skill of discipline? How did you build that skill?
I think just like as far as discipline goes, it's like you kind of make an agreement or a contract with yourself. Like, hey, I say I'm going to do this, then I need to do it. You know, there is no negotiating on if I should do this. Like, if I want to, lose weight, like this is the contract I'm signing with myself. Whatever happens outside of it is going to have to wait, because I have these goals. I want to achieve this, So I think that's the most important part about having discipline is you need to be able to, focus in and keep the stuff that's going to distract you out.
Did you think that fitness helped build that discipline?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Fitness definitely helped me build that discipline.
A lot of people take fitness for granted, but I tell people, man, fitness is a way of life.
Yep.
If you can train yourself to achieve whatever fitness goals you have, if you take the same principles you use and apply to whatever field, you would.
Yeah.
Even if not achieve those, you would get somewhere if you just take those principles that applies in fitness and just apply it to your everyday life.
Right, because you're going to create those habits.
You're going to create those habits.
Yep.
And what are some of those habits that we're talking about? Discipline, consistency.
Yep.
You get it, right? Like progressive overload. Like all these are things that if you literally like add them to. That's why I love fitness. Like and like I'm like, y'all don't see that fitness is changing life.
It's
like
changing
it doesn't just change your body. You get
right. That's the bonus. That's
just
the bonus.
Yeah,
I tell people that all the time.
Don't even worry about like and as a trainer, I always tell my clients that don't even worry about the results.
Yep.
You get me, right? The results will come once you lock this in.
Yep.
You
enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process. You get it, right? The result will just come out naturally. But if you can like just go into like fitness and just be more like the process. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I gotta stick with. The discipline to eat consistently. The discipline to go when you have to go every day. Just that, like,
Yeah, man. It's more to it
It's
than,
more
like
to
you
it.
said, than a lot of people think. Like fitness is definitely changing lives, and that's why I'm happy to be, a part of that, being able to help people, and I'm
People,
sure you feel the same way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's see. There's this question that I just skipped out of my. Oh wait. It's about discipline, okay? So when you set goals, like fitness wise, I want to put on this amount of pounds or something. Tell me what the process is like, and how do you stay committed to those goals? Those action plans that you've set.
hmm
Yeah.
How do I stay committed to it? I just, like I said, I just, when I do something and I set my mind to it or say that I'm gonna do it, I kind of take that personal with myself. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's like I'm competing with just myself at the
So
same
yeah,
time. So
yeah, yeah.
and I feel like it's always been instilled in me to whatever you start, you finish too.
Inky. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
Inky. That's Inky. That's Inky.
whatever you start,
That's
you
Inky.
finish.
You
So I
finish
think
it.
that's
No
like,
matter what.
I think that's the commitment part. It's like, hey, like if I'm expecting these results, I'm not gonna get them from stopping. I gotta finish to get them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just knowing that, like, hey, this is what we're doing, but at the end of it, I know I'm gonna achieve my goal. I'm gonna feel great. That's it.
Wow. I like that. I like that because I'm kind of like the same way, man. It's like if I say I'm doing something, for me, it's more about me than anything.
Yeah,
You get it,
that's
right?
where it starts.
I have to keep to my words. If I say I'm doing this for 10 days, I have to make sure because if the feeling I get not doing it is worse than the feeling I will get from doing it. You get it, right?
Right.
That those days that there's no one there, you're in your bed and you're like, you fucked up, Lucky. Look at you. You can't even stick to your,
Yeah.
you don't even have discipline. You don't have, what do you have there? So those nights are nights that I never want to experience.
No.
Well, I'm just on my bed and looking at my day and it's like, you could have done this today, you know that, right? But you didn't do it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what are some of you like? When you started this journey, like your biggest fears? Like, what are some of the things that you're afraid of? Like, that just kind of
I
like held you back.
I think like you ask yourself like, am I gonna be successful? Like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing that probably a lot of people struggle with. It like, is this gonna work? Like, or what does success mean? But I think I've learned now that like success to me is just doing what I love doing and like being passionate and just knowing that if I feel this way and I'm happy about what I'm doing, that the rest is just gonna
The rest
come.
is gonna come.
Yeah, it's just gonna come. I don't need to put a timeline on it.
Yeah. Does money mean success to you?
No, no, I don't think it does. I feel like that as well. Like that just comes along. You know what I mean? Like as you build your craft, as you keep going,
So you keep going.
then yeah, you might get a little bit more money. But if you're doing it for the money, then it's not really. I feel like it's not really a passion. You know what I mean? You need to lead from your passion first, and then the rest comes.
And then the rest comes. Nah, I respect that. Respect that. Because like you talked about success, it's just doing what you love and being good at it, and then seeing results from the lives people you've come across with, and they tell you those text messages that, hey man, I've lost 10 pounds. That's success right there.
Exactly. Right. It's
That's something
right
that
there in
money
front.
can buy. That's something
Yeah.
that money can buy. No matter how much is in your
Right.
bank account as a trainer and your clients are not seeing results, you are not you're not satisfied.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And even just getting a new client who has a goal, like, and I always say like the relationship shouldn't be transactional. Like you're if yeah you're exchanging money, but like you're investing in yourself. That's all. You're just investing in yourself.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
It's not like, yeah, even that's the same thing I tell my clients too. You might think you're spending this money, but don't think of it as spending. Think of it as investing in your health
Right. No one
and
can.
yourself.
Yeah, and I tell them say no one can take this skill away from you.
That you get from those
You know,
sessions. Yeah,
you're developing a skill that other people don't have.
I like that. I like that. So, what is your goal? Like, like right now, where you are right now, and where do you intend to be?
Yeah.
Let's say your midterm goal, like 5 months from now. Where do you see yourself prosper? Where do you see the brand prosper with?
Well, it's kind of cloudy, but it's kind of not. I always ask myself, I'm like, I definitely want my own gym,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I kind of sometimes say, well, I want a house and I just want to build a gym in the garage. Yeah, I just have my clients come to the garage.
That's what I do myself.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Because I feel like you get a gym, it's gonna be good, but there's still gonna be a lot of responsibilities that come with having the actual gym. If I feel like I could create a cool environment with a gym right in my garage.
I like that.
Yeah. So in the future, that would be the main goal: is the gym in the garage, prosper with Jwann gym. But further down in the future, I definitely hopefully I can find like a bigger studio space to train people in, and kind of still be my own boss and doing my own thing at the same time.
I got you. So like, how do you, as a trainer, work on growing your business? Like, how do you grow yourself, grow your clientele, and all that?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just creating relationships with people. Like, you might talk to somebody today, and that just doesn't mean that you know a year from now they won't need your help or they won't want your help. So just creating relationships with people and kind of letting them know, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna always be here if you need some support and stuff like that. So creating good relationships and just being an honest and a good person, and people are gonna refer out, and then you'll meet people. I actually just got a new client 2 months ago. It was my first referral ever, and I was mind blown. I was like, wow, like somebody actually referred me. Yeah. I did a little dance in the room and everything too.
Wow. Those little moments.
And just when at that moment, I was like, okay, cool. Like I know that I'm a good trainer. People like training with me, and if this happened this time, then it's gonna keep happening. You know what I mean? So I think just building relationships with people is so important.
What does it take to be a good trainer? Because you say a good trainer, like what are some things that it takes to be a good trainer?
Well, first, safe environment and just making sure you're training safely. I always tell people that it's my job to make sure when you leave that you can still go to work tomorrow, still do the things that you love. So, just proper training and not just throwing these crazy exercises out that we see on the internet. Oh my gosh. There's people doing great. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Oh man, you don't really get a real person like this sometimes. Make sure you're talking to a real person. But yeah, where were we at? Oh man, so yeah, I definitely would say yeah, you're gonna have a positive environment and you're just creating good relationship with people. I think those are just so key. That just takes you far.
Yeah. Do you believe in as a trainer? You believe how people say you gotta look the part. You get it, right? Do you believe that as a trainer?
Yeah, I kind of do. Sometimes I kind of do.
Why?
The majority, because my thing is, if I'm trying to say you need to be healthy and whatnot, I'm like, I should probably be that person too. I actually had one client, and he's one of my favorite people. His name's Fred. Shout out to my guy Fred. Oh, I think I helped him lose like 100 pounds so far, yo. But Fred always says to me, we would work out and he would see other trainers. He'd be like, that person doesn't motivate me. If I want to train with somebody, I want to train with somebody that looks the part. That helps me stay motivated. It might not be the same for everybody, but I get it. You know what I mean? Like if somebody wants to have the same physique as you, they probably gonna want to train with you opposed to somebody without the same physique.
Yeah, I think so. Like I agree with you.
It shouldn't be like that, but
discipline. How can you tell someone to stay disciplined when you as a trainer can't even stay disciplined to stay lean or build muscle? You get right? Yeah.
And I still have a good time, but it's like what's funny too, and also it goes back to leadership. Like, how am I telling my clients to train and do this if I'm not doing it?
If you're not doing it, yeah.
That's part of just being a leader, It's like if I'm telling you to do something, I want to make sure I'm doing the same thing as well,
As a trainer, that's my motto in life. Like before I tell my clients to do anything, I have done it.
Right.
I have tried it. I don't just want to randomly bring up something because I sound stupid doing that.
Right.
When I just bring up something that I have no clue where you feel it or what it does, and I just say, let's do this.
Exactly.
You sound clueless. So as a trainer, you have to make sure like you practice what you preach.
Yep.
Yeah, right. If you speak healthy, you have to be healthy. Unless your goal is something else. Maybe you're at that moment you're bulking or because like
Right.
I'm bulking right now. So I have moments where I might make my client do some exercise and I'm breathing really hard. And I feel bad because they'll be looking at me like, are you sure you're really a trainer?
Yeah.
Right? But the beautiful thing is that my clients have worked with me for a long time. So they've seen me when I'm at my, peak, when I'm, like more energetic and they know I never get tired. But now it's like you're bulking. So even that makes me feel guilty as a trainer. And I'm like, should I just stop bulking and and be the part for these guys? But like I said, if your goal is to bulk, it's completely understandable that at that moment you have to. Because you're letting your clients know that discomfort you get, right? This is not, you don't enjoy doing this, but it is something you said you would do.
Exactly.
So you have to do it. It doesn't matter if you look funny in front of someone else as a trainer, bulk. You don't you run a little bit and you're like because it comes to bulking. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's just being a leader too. At the same time,
How did you work on your leadership skills? Where did you get these leadership skills from?
Uh, reading books, I would say definitely reading books, and I've actually had I would personally say I've had some pretty good leaders in my life.
Gotcha. Who is like your favorite leader? Name some people that like.
When I was in high school on Martha's Vineyard, we had a group called Young Brothers to Men, and it was for minorities.
Yeah.
And one of my teachers, Leo Frame, man, I'm telling you, he's a mentor of mine still to this day. But just the way he was always a leader and just was able to inspire people and motivate. I took a lot from that. I think that's kind of helped me through a lot of my journey, just developing those skills.
Okay. So you spoke about books. So what are some of your name your 5 go-to books that you read?
Oh, my 5 go-to books. Right now.
Okay, I'll say mine. You say so. We'll go together. Okay? You share 5 with me. I share 5 with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So take your time. Think about five books that you.
He said 5. I've definitely read 5, but I'm like so many.
Yeah.
The first one I can think of, I'm trying to remember the exact name. It's the real estate guy. Why am I forgetting? He's out in Miami. Man, I can't remember why I'm forgetting the book. 10x, the 10x rule. The 10x rule. You never heard of that?
I've seen that book. I'm trying to the 10x rule.
10x rule. Yup.
What are the 10x rules? Do you have an?
Well, basically, in his book, he just basically tells you need to go harder in everything you do. Like, don't think that. Or here's a good example. Don't think that you're bothering somebody. Does Nike think that they're bothering somebody when they're emailing all the time? You know what I mean? So just his book basically teaches you that you can always do more, and if you really want to reach a certain potential, you have to do more. You have to be uncomfortable with doing more. So 10x rule definitely. One of my friends sent me a book. It's kind of like a little Bible. It's like the Knights. I think it's the Knights Rule Book or the Knights Rule Book, and it has one small chapter, and every chapter leads with a key word. It might say faith or love, and when you read the chapters, it's telling a nice story of how that one word it brings that one word into a story basically.
What's it called, the book?
I think it's the Knight's Rule Book.
The Knights?
Knights, like a knight, like an old school medieval knight.
Oh,
yeah, like that.
Rule book. Okay. This third one. Okay, let me give you time. I'll share mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give 2 of my favorite books. Let's see. My number 1 favorite book. Okay, this book I read every year. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
What is that called?
How to Win Friends and Influence.
I've heard of that one. Never read that one before. I've heard of that.
Carnegie. That's my number 1 book. As a trainer, I would recommend you read that book.
Yeah.
I read that book every year, just to refresh those rules. So many rules. Literally, simple things that will make you outstanding from your peers. Because there's some things that as we grow, we don't pay attention to anymore. Like, for example, calling someone by their name, complimenting someone, a smile and all that. Those are just those little things that we just feel like, you know what, we're too big to do all those things. You get right?
Yeah.
But those are the things that actually gets people, because the rest of the world don't do them, and when you do them, as a trainer or as wherever, it just makes you stand out. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that book, oh my God, it's such an amazing book.
Okay. I have to make sure I do
Yep.
that.
How to Win Friends and Influence People, my number one. Number two, let's see, number two. Oh, Relentless.
Never heard of that one.
So he wrote 2 books. I mean 3 books, but I've read 2 of them. One is so this guy, Relentless, the coach that what's his name? He coached Michael Jordan. So he was his trainer.
You know what? Somebody told me about that.
Yeah, what's his name? Oh God, I forgot.
Someone told me about that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yep. So he coached Kobe Bryant too.
Yeah.
He coached Dwayne Wade. A lot of but Kobe and Michael were like his top 2. Like he coached them their whole he didn't work with anybody. Like Michael literally paid him that I paid you so you don't coach someone else, just coach you. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So Tim Grover,
yes, that's
Tim
what.
Grover,
Yeah.
like do this.
Someone was telling me they have a podcast and they usually listen. That's where I heard that from. Yeah. Like, hey, I just listened to it on podcast.
Tim Grover is the guy is something else. Like he's nuts, mindset nuts. Like as a trainer, that should be everyone's mentor. Tim Grover, because he said something. He doesn't want to be a trainer. He wants to be the trainer. That if you come to with a problem, it's solved.
Exactly.
You get it, right? You can never say, "Oh, I worked with." No, you want, like once you meet him, he wants to make sure that you get whatever solution you're looking for in this problem. So Relentless, he spoke about 3 kinds of people. Okay, the cleaners, the closers, and the coolers. And he kind of like explained 3 of them. Like one is that person that will go to work and just do the average.
Yeah.
I'll just do whatever I can to keep my job. You get right? Boom. And then the second guy, what's his name? Cleaner. The cleaner would do the average, and also if the boss required me to stay extra, I'll stay extra. You get right?
Yeah.
But the cleaner, okay, you ain't gotta tell him shit. He does it. You get right? He does his average job, do whatever the boss says, and still do more.
I think that was me, probably.
He's the type that will stay. He's the type that will make those extra phone calls. He's the type that, like, for example, Michael Jordan was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Michael didn't train like normal people. He trained more than normal people.
Yeah.
You get right? Even when he would be the first guy in the gym and the last guy to leave.
Yeah, I think
you get right. So
me.
that's that book. Like, whenever I read that book, it just makes me go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
check that one.
Level, Relentless, bro.
Yeah.
If you read this book, you're not gonna regret reading it, because at that moment you start to think like, how can I beat everyone around me?
Yep. And that's the personal development.
That's
right there.
No, for real. Like I love personal development so much, because it's one thing that has helped me get to where I am today. And I've always fuck with it. So those are my top 2 books. Okay, so what's your number 3 book?
My number 3 book. It's funny to say this, but the guy that I did the internship with, he has a book, How to Be a Trainer. And that was the first book that I read. Yeah, that was the first book I read before I became a trainer. And he has a lot of good, literally.
What's his name?
Chris Hitchcock.
I might have to look.
Yeah, Chris Hitchcock. He's doing a lot of great. He's literally teaching people how to be a trainer. That's his whole thing. He's teaching people how to be a trainer. But that book outlines literally how to be a trainer. And it's a good book.
I gotta read it, man.
It even tells you at the end, kind of like, business numbers and maybe how do I charge clients, things like that. And these are a lot of questions that a lot of people probably ask themselves when they say, "Hey, I want to be a trainer." And they don't know where to go. So that's definitely number 3.
Number 3, gotcha. And then my number 3 become, there's one called "Be So Good That It Can't Ignore You."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's so good. It's
so
good, so good that it can't ignore you.
Yeah.
Like literally, the work ethic these guys are speaking about is next level. Like that's the goal. That's my goal in life.
Right.
And I've always had that goal till I came across the book. I was like, there's a book like this also that, and when I read that book, it's upstairs, like it just tells you like how much work you need to put into your craft. That if you say as a trainer, I charge this amount, no one will say, can we talk up? No. If you say I charge this, they okay, that's what you do. That's what we give to you. Yeah, right? If you say you walk into the room and they're looking for, you're the only one they pick. You get right. So yeah, that's my number 3 book. So good they can't ignore you.
That's a good 3.
Yeah. The 4th one.
4th.
Yeah.
4th. We're going deep now. Yeah. Right now I'm reading is it Think Something Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. I'm reading that right now. I'm reading that one right now.
How to Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, that one right there. I've been enjoying that one as well right now. So I would say that's my 4, even though I'm still reading it.
Yeah, I have read that book too. That's a very good book. Very good book. Okay, let's see my new book. Oh, my 4th book. I'll give it to Tim Grover, the guy that wrote Relentless. He wrote another book called Winning, the unforgivable battle to the top or something like that. And he just still speaks about, some of the top people in the world and the world. He gave rules, like kind of like 10 rules, but he didn't call this 10 rules to success. It's like, it's more of a, he doesn't think that he doesn't really believe in rules. You get right. So every rule was rule 1, rule 1, rule 1, rule 1. you get it, right? Yeah. So he didn't say this rule was more powerful.
Right. I was just about to say everything is important.
Everything is important. So he gave some rules in that book that and like when you read things like this, you just know that, man, like if we want to be where we say we want to be, I know times have changed, but we're not even doing half of the things that it takes.
Exactly, and that's kind of what like the 10x rule, like it kind of identifies like, hey man, you can do a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because this is what that other person's doing. They're doing 10 times what you're doing.
Oh yeah, the 10x rule, like for real, man. I would definitely read that book. Yeah, definitely read that book. Oh, you got the last one?
I know. I'm trying to think of 5. I don't think I got 5. I got 4. We're gonna keep it at 4. Keep it at 4.
I like the first one, 10x rule. I think I'm definitely
the 10x rule is definitely.
And then the how to be a trainer. That trainer.
If you're out there and you're looking for a book to read, that was a good one. If you're
like
a trainer, right? Yeah. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon and on Show Up Fitness's Instagram page. You'll see it.
Okay. Oh, thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, guys. So if you guys love to read and you're curious about books that you should read, I think we've given you guys
those are some really good books.
8 solid books that I think will change your life.
Yeah.
And I think one of my 5th book, I'll throw this on the inside. It's called Failing Forward.
Oh.
By John Maxwell.
Okay, I've heard of John Maxwell.
John Maxwell, shout out to that guy. He's like a leadership coach. He studied leadership. All his books about leadership. I made it a promise to myself that this year I'm gonna read every month one of his books.
Wow.
Bro, as a trainer you're a leader.
Yeah, you are.
Believe it or not, you're a leader.
You're pushing people
to achieve a goal.
Yeah.
Like for real.
You have to be.
You have to be. So you want to be a good leader, read about leadership books, like self-help books and also leadership books. John Maxwell is phenomenal. Failing Forward, he just talks about how you know how he talked about like you don't fail until you quit. You get it, right?
Right.
That's kind of like the message he puts out there, and he goes up with like comes up with stories that you've never heard before, like Macy's. Like we only see the success in Macy's, but the guy who founded Macy's started like up to 5 businesses and all of them failed.
Wow.
Till he finally, even the one before Macy's failed. You get right. Till he finally got made. But the difference, he said the difference between the successful and the successful is that the successful is always ready to do one more.
Yeah.
You get right. Always ready to do something extra. Always ready to take that next step. Always ready to do that extra thing. So that book right there, oh my God! When I read that book the day I left BSc,
I can feel it.
So I was like, I got into Barnes and Noble. I'm like, I'm looking for a book that I'm looking for a book that would just, give me courage to fail. Like
Something empowering.
something empowering at night. And John Michael has been on my mind for a while. So when I saw that failing forward, I'm like, you're speaking my language, bro. Just pick the book, walked out of there and read it, and it was so good. So oh man, this is fun.
Yeah.
So let's see. Last question. What is your message to what's your plan with fitness? Like, what are you trying to achieve with fitness? What's your message out there?
I think my biggest message is just kind of letting everybody know, you don't have to lift weights, and you can have your own fitness. You know what I mean? It could be whatever you like doing, but it's definitely very important to get up and move and just be appreciative of like being able to do those things, because some people can't do these things, or some people don't have the motivation. So just my really biggest thing is just move your body. Everybody need to get up and move your body, and it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you happier. And, fitness and health is big,
Like that. And you talked about something that this is going to be my last question. What is your style of training as a personal trainer? Like, what's your style? Because you said not everyone has to lift weight.
Yeah, my style is.
What's your style of training?
Yeah, my style is strength training. Like, I preach strength training, because my thing is, a lot of people think that just running on the treadmill is going to help you lose weight, but I'm not saying it's not going to. But if you strength train, you're going to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. So why not get the double bonus?
Yeah, I kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah,
rather than running the treadmill,
right?
Losing the muscles that you already have, because too much of that can lose muscles
right,
too.
Exactly.
So strength training comes with both benefits.
So just basically, my style is strength training, and then teaching people how to train safely.
Yeah. So at your studio, so that's where you train your clients, right? What equipment do you have? Oh, okay. I take that question back. As a trainer, what is one piece of equipment that if you don't have anything, you want to have it? If you get your studio, like, what's one equipment you would want to put in there? Boom.
Okay. Wow. One piece of equipment. Honestly, I honestly feel like if I have dumbbells, I'm good. Like, I can do anything with dumbbells. Because you can goblet squat, you can hinge, you can press, pull. Yeah, you can do everything with a dumbbell. Core, so dumbbell. If I say I had an empty space,
dumbbell.
Give me some dumbbells, and we're going to get to work. Yeah, we can build off of dumbbells.
Okay.
And I'm sure people were probably using those in the pandemic. They just had dumbbells.
Yeah, dumbbells.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro. During the pandemic, I had only a 10-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
I came out the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, 10-pound dumbbell, but I came out the
Which basically we're telling you can do anything.
You can do anything, guys.
You don't have to have the gym.
True. Wow. Literally, like, I wish you could. There's so much we're dropping out here that I wish you guys would take out of this conversation, that you don't really have to go to the gym, even at home where you are. And that's what he does. He helps busy people to stay fit.
Yep.
So you're busy, like, I think he's the guy you want to go to. You're like, I'm busy, but how do I prosper in my fitness world?
Exactly.
Coach
I like that. I like that. That sounds good.
Okay, next one. What's your favorite exercise? One exercise that you're like, okay, this exercise I have, everybody has to do this exercise.
Okay, my favorite exercise. I would just say rowing, like the rowing movement. Yeah, whether it's barbell row or I forget what the machine. You're sitting down and you're pulling that row. I just think rowing. Everybody should know how to row.
Okay,
and you get a nice back.
Shout out to summer's around the corner. So okay, last question. What is one piece of equipment that you're like, this shouldn't be in the gym? You're like, this guy is just a waste of time, honestly.
You know which one I actually hate is the ab one where you like get in it
and then you
that one right there, like,
oh
my God. I don't know. I just don't.
He just don't sit right.
Yeah, you just sit in it. Oh, that's lazy.
I like that. You know why? Because I use that. Okay, I've used the one.
I've used it too,
but I just
but-
feel like I use it when I'm just like tired. I'm like, you know what? Today I'm gonna have a lazy app day. You get it, right, and I just go there and then twist around and then turn around and twist the other side.
Yeah, I feel like that machine doesn't even do it. It probably does, but I don't know.
Okay, that's a good one. And then okay, the last one is like, okay, how can people reach out to you? You know, like what's your Instagram? Like how can people? You know, someone had this conversation like, I want to work with Coach Prosper.
Okay.
How can people reach out to you?
I usually post everything on Instagram, so if you check out my Instagram page, Prosper with Jwann, and you also can check out the link in my bio. I have my Herbalife nutrition products there. My online coaching where you can apply to online coaching, and you can also fill out a free nutrition evaluation, and I'll reach out to you as well because it'll leave all of your information there. So hit me up on Instagram, Prosper with Jwann.
100%. Hey guys, you've heard it all. Okay, I think it was an amazing session. Like I enjoyed it. Not just
this is good.
not just the conversation, but I got something out of this that mentally just. I think next week I'm gonna even do better myself.
Yeah.
And I know not just me, you guys listening too. I've learned something. But please, okay, show love to our brother. Support him. Help small business grow.
Yeah.
If you know someone that needs to start a fitness journey, and he's shared his journey with you guys. This is nothing crazy, okay? You're like, I want someone that people can relate to. He's the guy. You get it, right?
Yeah.
Reach out to him. Follow him on Instagram. Even if you don't have, just follow him. Like his video, comment, help. All that goes a long way. Because he's putting a lot of work, and the least thing we do as content creators and people that are creating things out there is just to get that little support from you. It doesn't matter. It goes a long way. Okay,
Yeah.
so please, guys, go follow him. If you know anyone that needs to get in shape, somebody's still around the corner. He's the guy. He got you guys. Okay. So with that said, man, we've come to the end of today's episode. But I'm definitely gonna have Prosper back. I'm calling you Prosper.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna have to have back on the episode.
Let's
Okay?
go.
I'm gonna have him back on the podcast. We talk about so much stuff. I actually spoke to him about having the Fitness Friday. We're gonna back with Fitness Friday. Jordan and I will sit and talk some fitness stuff that will help you guys get in shape. With the least things and least equipment. You get it, right. You don't have to go spend the millions or whatever get equipment. No, whatever you have, it's enough to get started. So with that said, okay, thank you so much, guys, for listening.
Thank you.
Don't forget to rate, share, and subscribe. Peace. Woo.
That was good.
Nice work, man.
Yep.